Hello and welcome crafting friends to G Crochet Off the Hook. I appreciate everybody stopping by to have a look at what today's adventures are. Now I must say, you have all been very naughty. And that is because as I catch up with many of my crafting friends across the YouTube channels, there's always something new that you think you are able to challenge yourself with. And that's because of all the beautiful work that you all share, because there is so much inspiration to be had. And that is what has happened with my knitting adventures. So today I have 2 completed washcloths that I'd like to share with you. And these are washcloths that I have done alongside Jana Kay from Leave It to Stitches, and I have also completed my first knit wearable. So excited. So let's first see what were the last 2 washcloths that I was able to complete. And the first one was a lot of fun because of how it has turned out. This is the Fisherman's washcloth. This is so unusually stretchy that at first I thought perhaps I wasn't doing something right, but it has turned out to be the perfect little washcloth that I'm going to be using on my Swiffer. It's the right length and it has the right amount of stretch to just go over the Swiffer and get tucked into those little clippies that keep it in place. And I used a 5mm knitting needle, and I was using Kismet's Reisha 100% pure cotton. These 2 held together. Now, just as this took very long to complete, the next washcloth cast off is this beautiful, very happy, bright yellow seed stitch washcloth. And again, I followed what Jana Kay suggested. At last, one that actually looks like I did try to put a border around it was a couple of rows at the bottom that's not following pattern, and also on the sides, and then ending the same way at the top. I do leave a long tail and I use a crochet hook just to make a little hanging loop. And I must say this washcloth worked up super fast. It really did. But that is also because I was still using my 5mm circular knitting needles, but I was using a lovely chunky Kismet's Eco Cotton yarn. And I have looked everywhere. I think when this is done, it will be done. And then all I'll have is the DK that I need to double together if I make something knit further. So there are actually quite a few little bumps along the way, but I think the seed stitch itself was quite forgiving. So I'm very happy with this washcloth. Now, as I've been watching many of our other crafting friends on the YouTube streets, I cannot remember who I watched first, but there's at least 3 other crafting friends who are also doing some knitting, sort of either getting into it or picking up knitting needles after a while and taking on a knit project. So I find myself looking at the Finally Fall Knit Shawl by Fiber Flux Knitting. And I also used a 5mm, the circular knitting needles, and I had this Kismet's 67 blankets, 1 ball, 1 scarf. It's an Aran. 100% acrylic, 200 grams, that had 396 meters. And this is all I have left. And you may have guessed it, I am actually wearing it. So this is the Finally Fall knit shawl. And this is how it turned out. So it was one of those very uncomplicated, because I'm not quite sure I'm close to being able to read a knitting pattern. Same with the washcloths. There were a set amount of instructions and I was able to follow through with those instructions as I went through with the project. So this is the shawl, and the yarn color that I used was called Jasmine. So you started at the bottom here and you did an increase once every row, and it gives you this little bit of detail along the sides, which I really loved. I'm so proud of this. I added a little tag and I used almost all of the 396 meters except for this little bit that was left, and it's worked out a lovely size because I can wear it as a neck scarf like this, or as you saw me wearing it a few minutes ago, sort of just draped over the shoulders, and it does cover my shoulders nicely. It has a lovely light soft feel to it. I'm actually very surprised there were so many stitches, oh my goodness. And once again, I'm so grateful to Sam's tutorial about the lifeline, because you can imagine the lifeline that I was using in this. And I think it is, the lifeline makes me consciously aware that it is there. But ever since I have been using a lifeline, I haven't had to actually take out any of my rows. So very happy with that. And I could even wear it as to cover my ears if I needed to. So I absolutely love this Finally Fall knit shawl by Fiber Flux Knitting. And there are others that have this on their knitting needles, and I actually can't wait to see how theirs come out. So yay, my first knit wearable. I must say these do take a bit more concentration than the crochet projects do, but I am elated that I was able to take on a project like this and actually complete it. And that's the update for today. And this will be coming in handy because the mornings and the evenings are definitely shouting, hello, autumn has arrived. So whatever crafting you have going at the moment, I'd love to hear if it might also involve some knitting, and please do feel free to share some of your knitting projects as you get them cast on or cast off. And I will see you all again soon as I get back to some of my crochet projects. I wish you all the best of stitches, whether it's on your crochet hook or on some knitting needles. Until I see you all again, do take care,